Alright, let's begin by showing ourselves how to create some groups using Blackboard. This will help us greatly when we get to some grading and assigning to specific groups. Say if we have one class that's ahead of another, or even a part of a class that's ahead of another, we can definitely deal with that. So first step, log into Blackboard. And you are going to go to one of your Blackboard sites. I'm going to choose my Algebra 1 course because I need to actually show you some students on this one. So in my Algebra 1 course, I'm going to scroll down the side till I get to my Users and Groups section. Then I will select Groups. Inside my groups, I'm going to create a new group. I'm going to manually enroll. A lot of times this just ends up being quicker than having students self-enroll, especially since I have to set it up anyway and I can easily select my students. I need a name, so let's just say this is my group for a specific date. Say this is going to be for the 29th. Put the date in there. Could put a description, it's not necessary. Group, say I don't want it to be available to students, I don't want them to know which group they're in. Now under tool availability, this tells me when I can assign students from this group to a certain activity. So I leave them all checked because I want to be able to use it for any of them if I choose. I don't want to have to worry about going back in time. So I look down here at the bottom, and I'm also going to want to select Create a Smart View for this group. And then finally, I'm going to select Add Users. Now, adding users is where I have my entire class list. So let's say if I was creating my class, I have two sections of the same course, all my students are enrolled in the same Blackboard. This is where I'm going to select, say, Hour 1, all of those students. And then I'd create another one and select all of Hour 2, and then they'd be two separate groups, which really facilitates things and makes things more efficient for grading. Let's just say I want my top 3, 4, 5 kids checked here. I'm going to create a group of them, and once I have all my students selected, I'm going to hit Submit. We'll wait for that to load. The next step after my group is created is I'm going to want to be able to apply this group to my grade center. So I'm going to go down here on the left hand side and select grade center. I'm going to select my full grade center. Now once I'm in my grade center, I need to make sure that if I go into manage and I go into my smart views, I make sure that this group is checked right over here. It needs to have that green star lit up in order for it to show up in my grade center. But once that does happen and I select submit, I go, this is my original screen. When I click on my full grade center, it shows all of my students. You know how you have your students who, say you have another teacher enrolled, or you have a student who's being tutored enrolled, or their tutor enrolled. So this allows you to get rid of that so that your grading goes simpler. So now I see that I have two groups down here. I already had a group set up for my Algebra 5th hour, but now I have a group set up for that specific date and perhaps activity. If I just select on that, all I'm going to see are the assessment scores for these students. And now I can simply line it up with my Infinite Campus, and I can easily transfer the scores back and forth. So now it's your turn to give it a shot. Hopefully my instructions were clear, and you can easily do that.